Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Pete on Retreat. This week, we're in Japan. That's right, folks, I'm in Japan. I have no idea what kind of videos I'm going to be putting out for Japan. This is actually the first time I've talked in my camera, and I've been here for 6 or 7 days, I think. As the regular viewers for my channel know, I came to Japan to celebrate my 50th birthday. I started off at the Tokyo Disney Resorts. I had an absolute blast at Disney. They have 2 parks there. I spent 3 days in the parks. I'm not going to talk too much about it. I might even put out a separate video just about the Disney parks, but I will go ahead and share some of my best moments in this vlog. First off, the Japanese culture mixed with the Disney parks is something to experience. I miss not being able to talk to the cast members that work there because most of them didn't speak English, but everywhere you go, they're just always smiling and always waving at you. They stand at the front of every line waving at you. Everybody in the park just waves at each other. When you're riding one of the trains or one of the boats through the lands, every time you pass groups of people, everybody waves back and forth to each other. It's just a very welcoming atmosphere that I really appreciated. Just like the Disney parks in America, food is a big deal here. I would say it's even a bigger deal here. Throughout the day, you saw long lines at all the food stalls, but they went really quick. They had all sorts of different flavored churros and different flavored popcorns, and of course every place you went had their own dish. It's the 40th anniversary for Tokyo Disney right now, so they had a bunch of special menu items at almost every venue. I ate so much. I know I'm gaining several pounds on this trip. Some of the food highlights for me were the creme brulee churro. The curry popcorn was really good. The spicy smoked chicken leg was amazing. But the biggest highlights were the 2 special dinners I had. The day before my birthday, I was in Tokyo Disneyland and I ate at their Blue Bayou. For the non-Disney enthusiasts, that's a restaurant that's connected to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. I had an amazing roast beef dish there. And then on my birthday, I ate at the Teddy Roosevelt Lounge on the SS Columbus in Disney Sea. Had a killer seafood sandwich, and I'm usually not big for seafood, but all the flavors just mixed so well. This incredible sauce on it. I can't even describe it. It was kind of sweet, kind of savory, absolutely delicious. And it came with chicken and waffles, maple syrup. It was a very American theme. The dessert for that dinner was fantastic. It was 7 different desserts, each representing a different land within the Tokyo Sea Park. There's some real cool rides there. I had a fantastic time. It was kind of hard for me to leave even after 3 days, but my feet and legs were definitely ready for a break. So I came to Japan with almost no preparation whatsoever. I had my Disney hotel booked, and just a couple days before coming here, I booked my first hotel in Tokyo. I just spent my second night here in Tokyo, staying in the Shinjuku area. Oh man, it's fantastic here. Just tons of food everywhere. It reminds me a lot of New York, but it's also different at the same time. I wanted to do some walking and talking videos, but everybody's so polite and it's so quiet on the streets, I kind of feel weird doing that. I'm really trying not to be the loud, obnoxious American here. But as I was saying, I did like no research. I got my first taxi and then I pulled out my phone and Googled, do you tip taxi drivers in Japan? You don't. Tipping is not a thing in Japan, even less so than it is in most of Southeast Asia. From what I read, tipping in Japan can actually be seen as an insult. Part of my lack of research also included not knowing anything about the trains and subway lines here. I left Disneyland, went to the train station, and was clueless. I walked up, tried to buy a ticket from one of the machines. They don't take credit cards, and I didn't even realize that was the issue. I ended up talking to an American family, and together we kind of figured it out. I got to my hotel in Shinjuku. I walked around a bit that evening. I'm definitely experiencing some culture shock here. I went out my first night wanting to get some Japanese food. The area I'm in, there's 3 to 8 restaurants on like every single block. There are all these tiny little places. Many of them only have counter seating or a table or 2. Some of the bigger ones will have 4 or 6 tables. Some of the smallest ones look like they only seat 6 people at a time. Most of the menus are all in Japanese. I quickly discovered many of them have a machine at the front where you order your food. I was totally out of my element, had no idea what I was doing. I passed a couple hamburger places and I looked at the reviews. I didn't want to eat anywhere less than 4 stars since there were so many options, but then I found this Paradise Burger. I think it was 4.5 stars, so I went in there. The guy spoke good English. It still felt like one of these Japanese places where it was small. The cook was right behind the counter from where I was sitting. I could just reach out and touch him anytime. I could smell as soon as my burger hit the grill. Just, oh, it smelled so good. The burger was absolutely fantastic, and after dinner, I decided it was finally time to do some research. I went back to my hotel, this really cool Japanese style hotel. The bed's on the floor. You take your shoes off to walk on this like bamboo style floor. There's not a single chair in the place. And then I jumped on YouTube and started doing some research. I watched about an hour and a half of videos just about the trains and the subway system here. Each video gave me like one little tidbit that none of the other videos did. And by the end of it, I felt like I got a really good understanding. After that, it was time to learn how to order at one of these restaurants. I watched a couple videos about the meal ticket service. I felt much more confident after doing all this research. Yesterday I woke up at the hotel, breakfast is included, so I went downstairs. They have a really nice buffet. There's Western food and Japanese food, a little bit of Chinese food. They had some Mandarin orange chicken, some fresh salmon. It was really good. Amazing French toast, these little cubes that come in like individual skillets. Went back to my room, did some stretching. I was planning on FaceTiming with my dad, but he wasn't going to be ready for a couple hours. So I went and checked out the Tokyo Toy Museum. I found it by chance just by looking on Google Maps to see what was in my area. I was really hoping for like vintage Japanese 60s, 70s, 80s plastic toys, some of the metal stuff, the original Robotech and Transformers, and all the big Guardian Shogun Warrior toys and all that stuff. I spent my years in elementary school in a mostly Asian city, and so I grew up with a lot of that stuff myself. That wasn't what the museum was about, but the museum was really cool. After checking out the museum, I FaceTimed with my dad. Then it was time to do some laundry. After laundry, I wanted to do some more research and see about what I should do while I'm in Tokyo. Definitely suffering from analysis paralysis. There's just way too much to do here. Then it was time to try to eat again. I walked down the street, passed a few places, and finally said, you know what, let's try this one. I pulled out my phone and used Google Translate for the big menu board outside, decided what I wanted to get, went inside, started ordering from the machine. Still not really sure what I was doing, but I got everything ordered and paid for, and I got my little ticket. Then I didn't know if I'm supposed to give my ticket to somebody or just sit down, so I just sat down and kind of looked around like this, going, I don't know what I'm doing. Then I noticed a numbers board where they were calling numbers up, so I figured I could just sit and wait for my number to come up. I found a little machine that dispensed water and green tea, so I got my water. My number came up quickly, and I had food, and it was delicious. Most of the restaurants here feature a very specific style of food, at least all these small places in the city. I went to a place that specializes in these dishes that are known as beef on rice. I don't remember the Japanese term. I had never heard of it before, so I'll just go ahead and put that down here. There were several different options. I ordered one that said with extra green onions. It was delicious. I didn't get the full set, I just got it, but it did come with a miso soup. The dollar right now is strong against the yen. Everything here has been so affordable. My dinner was less than $4 US. I also felt so accomplished afterward. I can't wait to get out here and eat some more stuff. I then took a long walk around the neighborhood, tried to get my bearings, just stumbling around places. I'm staying next to this huge park, but it was closed at night. I was hoping I could walk through it. Came back to the hotel and it was like 11 p.m. I then FaceTimed with my buddy Darren. Darren. Darren's actually spent a lot of time in Japan. He's actually lived here before, so it was great getting some ideas from him and just sharing my crazy experiences here so far, and especially all the observations on the culture. I'll have to get into my cultural observations. I'm thinking about doing a video like 10 things I didn't know about Japan until coming here. Like I said, I really don't know what format these vlogs are going to come out in. After my morning buffet, it was time to get the day going. I was anxious to start using this new knowledge I had about the subway and train stations here, so I picked a destination to go. Right now I'm in the park outside the Tokyo National Museum. It took me 3 different trains to get here, 2 different transfers, but Google Maps is amazing for helping you navigate train systems. After each station, I was getting more and more confident. I looked at one of the maps in one of the stations because I couldn't figure out how to get to one of the lines. You actually had to go through another line to get there, and none of the signage was showing that. I got to the station here by the National Museum, and it turns out there's a bunch of museums right here. There's also the zoo. Looking like I could spend the whole day here. I've only been in Tokyo for 2 days, but I already want to come back. I also started planning out more of my trip. I think I'm going to do 3 nights in Kyoto and then a couple nights in Osaka. I got my hotel booked for Kyoto, but not for Osaka yet. And then I'm going to come back to Tokyo, probably stay in a different area. Like I said earlier, right now I'm staying in Shinjuku, but I want to stay in another area when I come back. But that's it for now. Right now I'm going to be headed into the National Museum. In case this is the end of this vlog, I want to thank you all for watching. Leave a comment below, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. This is Pete on Retreat. Thanks for watching, and I wish you were here.